All right, welcome back. We're the Political Insiders. I'm John LeBoutillier here in New York with the A-team. We have sitting in the center seat for Dr. Schoen, we have Dr. Jessica Tarlov, who works for Doug Schoen and can channel Doug. And sitting in for Pat Caddell, we have a real political insider, Ed Rollins, longtime Republican insider. And folks, we're going to discuss today John Kasich, who on Tuesday will be the 16th member of the Republican field, the governor of Ohio, a friend of Ed's and someone we admire. And let's start with you, Ed. Kasich comes in last to enter before the August 6th debate. Will he even be in the debate?
He may not be in the debate because of the way the system is set up, but he's certainly going to be a viable candidate. No one's more qualified than he is. No one has more knowledge of the federal government, having been chairman of the Budget Committee of the House. And not only that, he was on the Armed Services Committee for 16 years, was very involved as the ranking member in the Total Armed Services Reorganization. He's been an extraordinary governor. He's won big fights there, and I think he's going to be far more
the swing state.
The swing state. He'll be a far more credible candidate than most people who don't know who he is at this point in time.
Right, Jess, what do you think? As a Democrat, do you fear John Kasich on the ticket?
I welcome him to the ticket insofar as, I mean, my whole thing now, because there are so many lunatics, I think, on the Republican side, is I just want to be able to go to sleep on election night, if I go to sleep before the results, which is doubtful, and not be afraid for the future of the country. And I would not be afraid if John Kasich ended up being the president. I mean, Ed's completely right. I think he won 86 of 88 counties in his last election. And any Republican governor who takes the Medicaid expansion under Obamacare sounds good to me. I mean, he's really shown that he's able to work with Democrats, to understand that Democrats sometimes have good ideas, sometimes they have bad ideas, just as Republicans do, but to say, you know, we have to do what's best for the people. And there's a great quote, you know, where he said, I don't want to have to atone for what I did for poor people when I get to the pearly gates.
Right.
And I butchered it a little. Got a heart for sure.
And do we have any doubts, the three of us, that if you plopped John Kasich on January 20th, 2017 into the Oval Office, the guy could handle the job?
Oh, there's no question about it.
But the question is, can he win the nomination?
That's a tough battle. You know, my sense is he's one of the four, as I said, one of the two or three most qualified by far. Critical state. Ohio comes fairly early in the process. It's a proportional state at this point in time. He may change that to winner take all. But I think he's got some ground to make up. He certainly doesn't have the resources that Bush and Cruz and some of the others do. But if people look at him over time, he's going to be a very credible candidate.
All right, now, first of all, he's got Scott Walker as the other Midwestern governor, who's sort of a hotter ticket at the moment than Kasich. Only one of them is going to end up on the ticket, right?
I think so. The difference is Kasich is going to start in Iowa, and Kasich Walker's going to start in Iowa and be very credible there. I think John is going to make the decision to go into New Hampshire first because the late start and what have you, which is a better state, which is also where Bush is really going to try and make his mark.
And others too. Christie's trying to make his mark.
But I think it really could come down to a Bush-Kasich battle there, and that could be very.
Are they competing for the same votes, Bush and Kasich?
Pretty much. There's sort of an establishment element to it, but I do think Kasich reaches out a little broader than that.
Jess, are you familiar with Governor Kasich's position on pathway to citizenship?
I'm actually not. I would imagine he's quite balanced about it.
Several months ago, when it didn't look like he was going to run this time for president, he came out under no pressure and said, I am for a pathway to citizenship, which I had said to Ed yesterday, I don't know that the Republican Party in its present state will nominate someone with that position. I think they will have to be pro-life on abortion, which Kasich says he is, but I don't know that you can be pro-pathway to citizenship.
I'm not sure. I mean, 72% of Americans, obviously it's more Democrats than Republicans, favor this. I mean, and if once we move past all of this, you know, illegal alien thing that Donald Trump has kind of made into a hysterical issue right now, I think that people are going to end up much more towards the middle than we think.
I don't know that the Republican primary voters are.
And I think to your point, I think what Trump has done is stirred that pot up.
Yep.
And so even though I don't think he's a long-term player, the issue is a long-term issue.
Yep.
And he's going to have the hard right very, very concerned about any immigration program that looks like we're basically having some kind of
Bush flip-flop, Rubio flip-flop, Walker flip-flop.
But
So,
I think
okay.
Walker burns out. I mean, that's
be.
my big burnout.
We'll do
or my
more on this
hopeful
Sunday
burnout.
night with Harris Faulkner, 7:30 on the Fox News Channel, usually with Pat and Doug, but we love doing it with Jess and Ed.
Great.
Please join us Sunday night.